Carnation Evaporated Milk presents the George Burns and Gracie Allen Show.
Hello, Harry? This is Gracie. May I speak to Blanche, please? What? She just left? Well, will you try and catch her? It's very important. Oh, thank you.
Oh, hi, Gracie.
Oh, hello, Blanche. Blanche, I'm in terrible trouble. It's about our club, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society. We've been locked out of our club rooms because I didn't pay the rent. And I've got to do something about it.
Gracie, I'm right behind you.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, I hope all the other girls are, too.
No, honey. What I'm trying to say is
Say, Blanche, would you hurry up over here? I have the strangest feeling somebody is watching me.
Yeah, I'll be right there.
No, hold on, Blanche. I was wrong. There's nobody there. Well, anyway, I told Mr. Leeds I thought he was very mean to lock us out of our club room.
Say, Gracie.
Oh, hello, Harry. Thanks for calling Blanche. Goodbye.
Gracie.
Oh, excuse me, Harry. I didn't mean to hang up while you were talking. Goodbye, Harry.
Gracie?
Oh, I'm fixing the chairs for the meeting.
Well, Gracie, what happened to our rent money? In your last treasurer's report, you said we had $120.
We did, and I worried night and day about losing it.
Oh, Gracie, you didn't lose it.
No. I spent the $120 for a wall safe.
What for? Why?
Keep the money in.
Oh,
No, don't worry. I'm on my way down to the bank right now to borrow the rent money from Mr. Vanderlip.
Oh, well, good. I'll fix lunch for the girls while you're gone.
Oh, say, look, Blanche, how about some sandwiches and maybe a salad?
All right. But, half the girls are on a diet. Do you think I ought to make it without dressing?
Well, as long as you're alone, you pull down the shades. Whose business?
I heard a few snickers when Gracie mentioned her club, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society. Believe me, you wouldn't laugh at that name if you ever got a look at some of those women. Originally, there were 20 members, but it fell off a little during the last war. They did a little war work, and by accident, 6 of them were shipped out with bundles for Britain. Before they got their club rooms, they used to meet in my house all the time. I'd come home from the office, I'd find one committee in the living room, one in the bedroom, one in the dining room. They were all over the house. So I finally told Gracie that I'd like to wash my hands of the whole thing, and she said, knock first or you'll surprise the Ways and Means Committee. But I will say this. They were always raising money for some cause. One of their favorite charities was a fund to take care of homeless children. I contributed to this for 5 years before I found out why the children were homeless. The mothers were always at my house holding needles. And all they do is talk about their operations. One woman talks about her appendix. One talks about her tonsils. Mrs. McAvity, the president of the club, she had so many operations that her jaws hurt. I finally called in all the husbands, and I said, look, gentlemen, your wives have been meeting in my house now for 5 years, and I want you to do something about it. And they did. They gave me 3 cheers. So now they're going to start meeting in my house again.
Come in, Bishop.
Oh, that's Mr. Vanderlip, the president of the bank.
Mr. Vanderlip, Mrs. Burns is here to see you.
Oh, no, not Mrs. Burns and the bank examiners on the same day.
Well, shall I tell her you're tied up?
No, she'll only come in and want to untie me. I'd better see her, but first let's finish that letter to Acme Aircraft. Now, where were we, Miss Shaw?
In regard to your request for a loan of $2 million...
Oh, yeah, $2 million. I am pleased to inform you we can effect said transaction, provided you are able to offer satisfactory security. Upon receipt of a letter setting forth said security, we can continue negotiations. Signed, very truly yours, etc., etc. That's all, Miss Shaw.
Yes, sir.
Sit down, Mrs. Burns. What can I do for you?
Well, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society has been locked out of their club rooms because I didn't pay the rent, so I've come to borrow some money.
Won't you take a chair?
No, just money. We've got chairs.
No, I mean, will you please sit down?
Oh, well, thank you. Now, by the way, I don't want to cause any trouble, but your secretary didn't take down one word you said.
She didn't?
No, she made a lot of little circles and things.
That was her shorthand.
You ought to make her write with the other one. Nobody can read that stuff.
I'll speak to her. Oh, do you mind?
Oh, no, I don't even chew gum, but George would love it. Thank you.
Now, you say your club wants to borrow money.
Yes.
Well, we don't like to lend any money unless we know the borrower is responsible.
Oh, well, then your worries are over. We're short $120, and any woman in the club will tell you that I'm responsible.
No, I mean as a banker, I like to secure my loan. You understand?
Oh, certainly.
Now, tell me, can the ladies of your club put up collateral?
Well, we can if it's in season. Now, last month we put up apple jelly, and in July we put up apricot.
Mrs. Burns, I...
No, we don't want to earn the money. We want to borrow it.
Miss Shaw.
Yes, Mr. Vanderlip?
No, perhaps I'd better come on up. Will you excuse me?
Well, certainly. I wonder how he did that.
Now, just as soon as I go back in, you follow and say somebody important wants to see me.
Well, who shall I say?
Oh, Mr. Simpson.
Yes, Mr. Vanderlip.
I wish we had one of those at home.
Now, Mrs. Burns, we can continue our conversation.
Yes, let's get it over before Mr. Simpson gets here.
Never mind, Miss Shaw. Now, look, Mrs. Burns, the bank cannot loan you $120 unless you put up security.
But I haven't got any.
Well, what about your husband?
Oh, I should say not. I wouldn't put him up for $130. Well, goodbye, Mr. Vanderlip.
Goodbye, Mrs. Burns.
Goodbye. And, remember me to Mr. Simpson.
That's a great organization Gracie belongs to. You know, in most clubs, if a member is late to a meeting, he's got to pay a fine. In the Beverly Hills Uplift Society, if a member is late, they pay her. It gives them such a good chance to talk about her that it's worth it. But they do some very important work. They once called a special meeting, and they voted unanimously that they didn't like the high cost of living. Another time, this
Hi, honey.
Oh, Harry Morton is home to lunch.
Hello, Harry. Thank you, Errol Flynn.
Wow, you finally got my lunch fixed on time, huh? Did you fix up anything for yourself?
That is for the club meeting at Gracie's today. Although I did have some things left over there on a plate in the icebox.
Fine thing. Husband has to fix his own lunch.
Well, Harry, I didn't know you were coming home today. Half the time you eat at the drugstore.
Blanche, every once in a while a man has to have a good, wholesome, well-cooked meal he can digest. That's the only reason I go to the drugstore.
Harry, you're talking yourself into a visit from my mother.
Why are the Beverly Hills shoplifters working meeting at Gracie's?
It's uplifters, and I may have Mother bring Father along.
Mrs. McAvity still the president?
Naturally. She wrote it into the Constitution. Oh, that reminds me. She's coming by in a few minutes. Pick me up.
You know what kills me about Mrs. McAvity? That lorgnette business.
Oh, well, are you Blanche's husband? Well, well.
Oh, Harry, that's not true.
May lightning strike me.
Oh, honey, don't say that. Not while you're holding my best china.
Thanks, Blanche. Thanks a lot.
Oh, say, that reminds me of something cute Gracie said. You know, she went to the Carnation Farm, and she says that all of their cows are especially equipped to fill 4 cans at one time. Oh, that must be Mrs. McAvity.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, dear. How are you?
You ready to go?
Yes, come right in. Please do. Mrs. McAvity, you know my husband, Harry.
Sure.
Oh, so you're Blanche's husband. Well, well.
Gotta get some mustard.
Yes, well, let's hurry over to Gracie, shall we? I'll take these sandwiches. Bye, Harry.
Well, I'll take these.
Well. Hey, Blanche, you left this.
How do you like Mrs. McAvity, the president of the club? You know, she's quite a woman. I'll never forget the club ran a minstrel show, and Gracie let her wear one of my suits. And until she wore it, my pants only bagged at the knees. She's very rich, though. Her husband left her a beautiful home in Bel Air, 2 Cadillac cars, plenty of money. He left her practically everything. The only thing he took with him was the upstairs maid. Now, Mrs. McAvity is a little bitter about men.
Come on, girls, we'll hold a meeting in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the emergency committee of the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
Come on,
All right, quiet down, girls. Girls, quiet down. Of course, you all know why we're here. Now, the meeting will please come to order. Clara, will you please read the minutes of the last meeting?
I'm sorry, Madam President, but I lost them on the bus.
Oh, that was a very important meeting, and now we have no record of it. Yes, Gracie?
I move we cancel the last meeting, and then we won't need a record of it.
No, that wouldn't be legal.
Now,
That
look,
wouldn't be
girls,
right.
before taking up the business of raising $120, I'd like to hear a report from the Cheer Up Bedside Committee, and please make it brief. Yes, Blanche?
Mary isn't here. You see, she went to cheer up Mrs. Darby, who was sick, and now Mary has the measles, too.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Now, do I hear any volunteers? Anyone like to go and cheer up Mary? Well, we'll proceed. Now, yes, Gracie?
Well, I move that we cheer up Hazel Boydston. She's really got all kinds of trouble. Only last week she went to the hospital for an operation and they took out her television set.
Well, I think we'll skip the rest of the committees and hear just from our treasurer. Gracie, did you get the money from the bank? Yes, Gracie?
No. I went down to see Mr. Vanderlip, and that poor man is not well. Even his secretary knows there's something wrong with him. Why, even as I was leaving his office, I heard her say on the phone, Mr. Vanderlip cannot talk with you right now. He's in his office with a cracked brain.
Well, I said, well, the upshot of the whole thing is that we still need the $120.
Yes, but what are we going to do? Oh, I'm down here, George.
Gracie, do you think you could get the money from your husband?
That's a good idea. Oh, I don't know. He'd have to be in an awfully good humor.
Oh, well, we could take care of that, couldn't we, girl? Here he comes. You know, I've known George Burns for a number of years. It seems to me that he's getting better looking all the time.
And he wears his clothes better than Cary Grant.
Oh, Gracie, you're so lucky to have such a young, handsome, devastating husband.
And so talented.
George, I hope you didn't hear what we were saying.
I didn't hear a word, and you're not getting the money. Gracie, can I say you please? Goodbye, ladies.
Well, I'll be right back.
Well, now there must be some way that we could raise
I know. Let's run a bazaar and we'll all sell kisses, huh?
Oh, that's a good idea. Rita, how dare you suggest that Mrs. McAvity kiss strange men?
This is an emergency, and you mind your own business.
The last time we tried to sell kisses, we lost $16.
Well, money isn't everything.
No, it isn't.
I mean, let's face it, girls.
Oh, Harry!
Hello, Gracie. I heard the Beverly Hills Uplift Society was meeting here, so I brought you girls a picture to hang in your club room.
Well, how wonderful. Oh, what a darling baby. Thank you, Harry.
It's a picture of me.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess I should have recognized it.
Oh.
But, of course, I so seldom see you dressed like that.
Yeah, well, I think I better go in and give it to the girls.
Oh, no. No men are allowed while we're having our meeting. You see, it's a woman's club.
Well, Gracie, as I came up the driveway, I saw a man in the house.
Oh, no, you didn't. It was George.
Oh, but I have something very important to say.
Harry, rules are rules, and we can't... would it be worth $120?
$120?
Yes.
Gracie, that's a lot of money, but... Yes, it's worth it.
Really? Well, come on in. Oh, girls. Girls, we're going to make Harry Von Zell an honorary woman so he can join our club.
Why, I never heard of anything so fantastic. No man can join a woman's club.
Oh, wait a minute.
You can't.
Harry Von Zell has something to tell us that's worth $120.
Raise your right hand and read this oath of allegiance.
This is going to come as a big surprise to my mother. Up to now, she's been the only woman in our family. The oath, yes. Now, on my honor as a woman, I do solemnly swear that I will be loyal to my club and a credit to my sex. My great objective in life shall be that of every woman, motherhood?
The rest of the oath.
Well, I'll go make some coffee to welcome our new member.
Girls, our new member has something to say to us that may open the doors of our club.
Here.
Well, ladies, it gives me great pleasure to present you with this picture of me to hang in your club room.
Oh, isn't he the cutest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, well, thank you so much, ladies. I was kind of cute in those days, too. And do you know why? Because I was a carnation baby. Oh, well, don't look surprised, yes, ladies. Even in those days, there were many, many carnation babies. And do you know how long ago this picture of me was taken?
No.
Well, that's a load off my mind. Oh, and there is another side to this picture. Yes, you see, these two just naturally go together. A healthy, happy baby and carnation evaporated milk. Really, you can't buy a better milk for your baby's bottle. Say, I'll tell you, you mothers who use carnation, tell me what you like about it most, huh? Wait. We can't do it that way. Oh, I'll tell you what we can do. Let's let the oldest member speak first. Well, Mrs. Bagley, suppose you tell me why you're raising your baby on Carnation.
My doctor recommended it.
Oh.
He said Carnation is such high-quality milk I'd never have to worry about it.
Mr. Von Zell, I want you to know that I raised my twins on Carnation, and I didn't have a speck of trouble.
Oh, of course not. Carnation is absolutely safe milk. It's so easy to digest, it agrees with even the most delicate babies. Why, the famous Dion quintuplets were raised on Carnation.
Mr. Von Zell, I don't want to brag, but, well, my daughter was a Carnation baby, and she has the perfectly beautiful teeth.
Oh, well, that's because of vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin. You see, Carnation contains an abundant supply of this important vitamin so that all babies may develop strong bones and good sound teeth. Why, 8 out of 10 mothers who use Carnation say their doctor recommended it. So you see, you're all in good company. And Mrs. Bagley, I know that thanks to Carnation, the milk every doctor knows, your little fella is also a picture of health and contentment.
Oh, he is, Mr. Von Zell.
I know he is. Well, I'd better be running along. I'll see you all later, ladies.
Mr. Von Zell.
Yes?
What about the money?
Oh, I'm forgetting all about that. You ladies have been so good to me, I'm not charging you anything.
Coffee, everyone.
Gracie, wasn't Mr. Von Zell supposed to pay us?
Yes, he was.
Well, he didn't.
Well, it's our own fault. We made him a woman, and the first thing he did was change his mind.
Well, and we still need the money.
Of course we. I've got a great idea. We can raise the money the way my sister Bessie did.
How was that?
Well, every time her husband kissed her, she made him put a 10-cent IOU in the piggy bank. And after 2 weeks, she had 90 cents in IOUs and $65 in cash.
But where did the cash come from?
Well, you don't think that she'd take IOUs from strangers?
Gracie, you don't
like the idea? Well, coffee, everybody.
Yeah, that's the best idea.
You know, I just found out that that club were going to have their meetings here all the time until they raise that money. So I finally got rid of them. I didn't lose my head. I didn't get excited. I didn't even argue. I just calmly walked in and gave them $120. That's because I got it up here. Here, I've got nothing. I guess it matches the purse. But you know, it's sort of worth it to get rid of them. Oh, there's Gracie. You know, Gracie, I'm glad those women are gone. I'm sort of exhausted.
Oh, me too. I'm glad I spent 2 hours in that shoe store.
Oh, bought a lot of shoes today, huh?
No, I didn't buy any.
2 hours and no shoes?
Well, George, when you're hot and tired, then there's nothing that rests you like having a salesman take your shoes off and measure your feet.
You went into a shoe store just for that?
Well, naturally. You can't take your shoes off in a hat store.
I guess not.
And you meet nicer people in shoe stores. You know, I don't know why it is, but people's faces seem more friendly when their shoes are off.
Yeah, well, in your stocking feet, you've got to be more friendly.
Yeah. Now, take this woman who sat next to me. She said she was buying a pair of shoes for a little boy in Pomona.
Mm-hmm.
She said he'd been walking for 2 years. So I said, well, he couldn't be walking very fast or he'd be in Kansas City by now.
Well, you did your share about being friendly.
Yes. She was a little self-conscious about her legs, so I cheered her up.
You cheered her up?
Yes, she said her husband kids her because her legs don't match Betty Grable's. So I said, well, the joke's on him. They don't match each other.
Well, you certainly cheered her up, all right.
Oh, yes. And then there was another woman who sat next to me. She was nice, but not very bright.
Oh, sort of on
Yes.
the dumb side.
So she said that she wanted a pair of shoes, not for dress wear, but something very comfortable to sit around the house in.
Something to sit around the house in?
Yes.
Well, that's natural, yes.
Yes, but George.
Yeah.
Her shoes were big, but she'll never be able to sit in them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she'll probably use a shoehorn. You know, Gracie, I give up. What is this little number?
Oh, I'm sewing your long underwear and your shorts together.
You're sewing my shorts and long underwear together?
Well, George, you know how changeable the California weather is. So, when it's hot, you wear the shorts on the outside, and when it's cold, you wear the shorts on...
Well, I'll get a lot of laughs in the locker room at Hillcrest.
Yeah.
You know, come in. Wonder who that can be.
Gracie, we thought of a way to pay back George the $120 we owe him. It was really Rita's idea.
Oh.
She thought of having a bazaar and selling kisses for $1 apiece.
Oh, I love that idea.
Isn't that a great idea, George?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I think any man would pay $1 to kiss you charming ladies.
You know, we were hoping you'd feel like that about it. All right, get behind me, girl.
What's going on?
Well, we owe you $120, and we're going to pay it back to you at $1 a kiss. One.
Look,
George and Gracie will be back in just a moment. In the meantime, here is something that you homemakers will most certainly appreciate. It not only tells you how to make the most scrumptious cake you ever tasted, but also how to make the most wonderfully smooth and creamy icing. By the way, this little recipe leaflet is available at your grocer's free. Sometimes you'll find it in this holder in the section where your grocer regularly keeps his carnation evaporated milk, with a little recipe leaflet right in this pocket here. Other stores have special displays of carnation and cake mix. Where you see this sign, look for it and just go in and help yourself to a helpful hint on how to make better cake and tastier icing with carnation evaporated milk. You see, with any cake mix that calls for milk, you get a high, light, richly flavored cake by using carnation mixed with an equal amount of water. So you see, ladies, now is an ideal time to get your favorite cake mix and your supply of carnation evaporated milk. Watch for the cake mix and carnation display at your grocer's. And now here is Carnation's own contented couple, George and Gracie.
Thank you very much. Gracie and I will be back again 2 weeks from tonight.
Dan, I want to thank everyone who sent in 35 cents for this carnation cookbook. And if you haven't gotten it, you will. I'm very busy still autographing them.
And we still have a few left. By the way, Gracie, you know that tonight is sort of a thrill for us. This is the first time that we're going east on the coaxial cable.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it really cost millions of dollars to operate.
Oh, well, then I better say goodnight. We can't afford it.
As Mrs. McAbibby, Lou Merrill as Mr. Vanderlip, and Verna Hilly as Clara Bagley. Also in the cast were Joyce McCluskey, Hope Sansbury, Margie List, Mary Adams, and Cecily Brown. And remember, friends, that next week at this time, The Gary Moore Show will be on this channel over most of these same stations, and I know you'll enjoy it. This is Harry Von Zell saying good night for Carnation. This is the CBS Television Network.